Day 6. Pressure without permission. Up to now, difficulty has been voluntary. You chose the cold. You chose the silence. You chose the structure. That phase is finished. Because real pressure doesn't ask for consent. It doesn't care how prepared you feel. It doesn't check your calendar. It doesn't wait until you're in the right headspace. It arrives when it arrives. And Day 6 exists to expose a hard truth most men never face honestly. Discipline that works only when chosen is not discipline at all. The shift. When life stacks the weight, there is a specific moment when things stop feeling manageable. Not dramatic, not catastrophic, just stacked. Time gets tighter, expectations pile up, energy dips slightly, noise increases. Nothing is unbearable, but nothing is light anymore. This is where most men begin to change how they operate. Not because they want to fail, because pressure changes behavior. Day 6 is about whether your behavior changes with it. The real test. What pressure actually does. Pressure doesn't usually make people quit. It makes them rush. They move faster. They think sloppier. They abandon precision in the name of survival. They tell themselves they're being efficient. They're not. They're reacting. And reaction is how standards erode without anyone noticing. The story, the weighted drill. There is a drill used in certain units. It looks simple on paper. A basic task, clear steps, nothing complex. Then pressure is layered on. First weight, not crushing, just enough to slow movement. Then time. Not impossible, just tight enough to remove comfort. Then noise, commands, distraction, interruption. What they watch is not strength. They watch order, who rushes, who skips steps, who loses form under load, and who stays precise when precision is inconvenient. Because in real operations, pressure doesn't reward effort, it punishes sloppiness. That drill isn't about muscle, it's about control when your system wants to panic. That drill is today. The hard truth. Pressure is an audit. This needs to land cleanly. Pressure does not create weakness, it reveals it. If you rush under pressure, you were already rushing inside. If you abandon structure under pressure, you never respected it deeply. Pressure is not unfair. It is honest. Day 6 is an audit of how you actually operate when relief is not available. The common failure, speed, feels like control. When pressure rises, the instinct is speed. Move faster, finish sooner, get out of it. Speed feels like control. It isn't. Speed is avoidance dressed as action. Real control looks slower than panic, quieter than urgency. Less impressive to watch, but it holds. The lesson, control over completion. Day 6 is not about pushing harder. It is about holding form while pressure presses back. When time compresses, you narrow your focus. When noise increases, you reduce input. When urgency rises, you slow your hands. This feels wrong to the untrained nervous system. Your body wants escape. Your job is not to escape. Your job is to remain operational. The mission, stacked constraints. Today's mission removes comfort by design. You will complete one critical task under imposed pressure. 3 constraints, no negotiation. Constraint 1, time. Set a firm, slightly uncomfortable time limit. Not generous, not impossible. Constraint 2, isolation. No phone, no music, no multitasking. One task, one lane. Constraint 3, finish standard. You finish clean. No rushing the final steps. No good enough. You do not lower standards to survive pressure. You meet standards inside it. That is the test. The resistance. Panic pretending to be logic. As soon as pressure stacks, something predictable happens. Your breath shortens. Your attention fragments. Your movements speed up. A voice appears. It sounds intelligent. It says, just get it done. Details don't matter right now. Clean it up later. That voice is not wisdom. It is panic wearing logic's clothes. Do not argue with it. Stabilize instead. The practice. How to hold the line. When you feel the urge to rush, slow your hands. Finish the step you're on completely. Then move. One action at a time. One decision fully executed. This is not natural. It is trained. Each time you choose control over speed, you install a rule. Pressure does not dictate my behavior. The internal collapse. Most men never notice. Here is how most men actually lose their edge. They don't fail loudly. They quietly reduce standards to cope. Deadlines get sloppy. Promises loosen. Details disappear. They stay busy. They feel productive. But precision dies. They call it adaptation. It's erosion. Day 6 exists to stop that process while it's still visible. The identity line, reactor or operator. Under pressure, there are two modes. Reactors, hurry, compromise, survive the moment. Operators, slow down, narrow focus, execute regardless of load. Reactors feel intense. Operators feel controlled. One burns energy, the other conserves authority. Today decides which one you train. Listen closely. This is not about perfection. It's about behavior under load. When pressure arrived today, did you rush or did you hold form? That answer matters more than how hard you worked. Pressure doesn't announce itself. It doesn't arrive as a single heavy blow. It arrives as accumulation. One more demand, one more interruption, one more constraint. And then suddenly the margin is gone. This is where men reveal what they actually trained. The consequence, when later never comes. Most men believe pressure is temporary. They tell themselves, I'll clean this up when things slow down. I'll fix the details later. I just need to get through today. But pressure doesn't end, it compounds. What you tolerate under pressure becomes your new standard. If you rush today, rushing becomes normal. If you compromise today, compromise becomes instinct. This is how discipline dies without drama, not by collapse, by permission. The second escalation, finishing under load. The final phase of any task is where standards are tested. Fatigue sits there. Impatience lives there. Relief waits there. That's why this moment matters more than the start. Today, when you felt close to finishing, your system likely pushed you to hurry. This is the exact moment most men lose integrity. They leave things 90% complete and call it done. They skip the final check. They accept almost right. Today, you did not. You slowed down, you finished clean. Not because it was efficient, because it was correct. The difference: speed ends tasks, control ends chaos. Anyone can finish fast, few can finish cleanly under pressure. Control doesn't just complete tasks, it prevents downstream damage. Errors multiply when speed replaces form. Problems surface later when standards are bent now. This is why professionals feel calm in chaos, not because they are detached, because they are disciplined where others compromise. The transfer, where this shows up next. What you train today doesn't stay inside work. It appears when conversations get uncomfortable, emotions spike, expectations collide, time compresses unexpectedly. Instead of reacting, you stabilize. Instead of escalating, you narrow. Instead of abandoning structure, you defend it. This is composure, not quiet, not passive, operational. The truth most men never face. You don't rise to the occasion. You default to your training. Pressure doesn't make you better, it makes you honest. Day 6 is about installing a default you can trust. The warning: control is not comfort. Do not confuse composure with ease. Holding form under pressure is uncomfortable. Your body wants relief. Your mind wants escape. Control denies both. That denial is the training. You are not becoming rigid. You are becoming reliable. The identity lock: Standards are not mood-based. This is where the identity shifts. You stop asking, can I manage this? Do I feel ready? Is now the right time? You move to, this is the standard. This is the pace. This is how I operate. Standards stop being negotiable. They become procedural. That is power. The oath, composure under load. Before this day ends, lock it. Stand still. No sound, no movement. Say this aloud. Pressure does not change my standards. Say it again. Not emotionally, as fact. Because tomorrow, pressure will test that sentence. The final command. Some of you held form today. Some of you rushed. Do not lie about which one you were. Awareness is the beginning of command. Tomorrow is day 7. Day 7 is not about pressure. It is about exposure. What you've been compensating for will no longer stay hidden. Same hour, same place, same war. Stand ready.